You don't need a wheel to make pottery. So here are 3 ways you can make pottery without a wheel.
This first technique is something that was used before wheel throwing was invented. And I don't remember the name of it, but it's a very edgy technique and it's super simple to do. All you need is a ball of clay and something to scoop the clay out. So I find it might work best if you put the ball into some type of rectangle shape or square shape. So that way you can get the scoop into the thing. And all you're going to do is put the scoop in and then just scoop it out. That's all you're going to do. Just scoop out the clay from the inside. And now you can already see it's really making a divot. So I'm going to work on this and enjoy the time lapse. You'll notice that this is still pretty thick. So I have this little knife carving thing. I think it's for wood. And you can literally just start carving away things as you see fit. It's going to make the piece a lot lighter. And so it's going to give it a very cool design. As you can see, it completely changed the way it looked and also made it a lot lighter. But you can use whatever tools you want. Use whatever tools you have around. Like if you have one of these tools, you could use them. You could just scoop away. Use whatever tools you have at your disposal. If you want to use a fork, use a fork. Use something. Use the tools you have to make this. So try this technique out. So that's technique number 1. For this next technique, you will need some clay again, an old bowl, and then an old pillowcase. And you also need, if you have one, or an extra one, a pin roller, or you could just slam it onto the table a couple times, it'll get it flat. But I have a roller, so let me show you what this technique is. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we gotta roll out our clay. Okay, so now we have it all rolled out. I even got a little design on the back from the mat. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab our old bowl and we're going to wrap it in the old pillowcase, just gently like that. And simply, all you got to do is put the clay over the piece and try to fit it almost exactly. And now what you're basically doing is you're basically making a mold for the clay. And then once it kind of hardens up, you can work on it a little bit more. So you see this is a bit long for me. So what I'll do here is I will chop it off a little bit. But because I kind of like the shape it is, I'm going to not do it super straight. So there we go. Do on the other side as well. Just a little bit. And literally you're only making a mold. And as I said earlier, so the mat that I'm using right here, it's an old dish mat that holds water. When I rolled it over it, it gave it a design. And although it wasn't intentional, you could do that as well if you have something that you could roll clay over it, or you can even press it into it as well. So it gave it an interesting design at the bottom. Actually, I'm going to flip that over. So the design is on top. So I flipped it over. A good note here is to not use a sponge, or don't use water on this too much, because it'll end up cracking a bunch if you do that. So like there's some cracks right here, but it'll crack a lot more if you use water, if you spray it with water, but it still look good. And then once this firms up, I'll show you at the end how it will look. So I plop the piece of clay off the bowl, and this is what it looked like. And you can use it as like a key holder or jewelry holder, something in that matter. And it looks really nice. Can look aesthetically pleasing in your house as well. So it's a very easy technique to do. Go try. This next technique, all you need is some clay and some water and maybe some type of tool to smooth it out if you want to, but you could use your fingers. But all you're going to do is just simply roll out the clay. It's called coil building. So you just roll out the clay and you shape it how you want it and use the water to attach it together. Put it together. You got a little shape here. And you keep adding layer by layer until you get the shape you want. So enjoy the time lapse. So that's coil building. I didn't make it too big because just for demonstration purposes. But if you wanted to make it so you could hold stuff, you can add a bottom to it simply by rolling out some clay and carving out the bottom right here, and also smoothing out the inside so that it is actually able to hold liquid. So those are the three techniques: the scooping out, the ancient technique one, and carving it as well. And this one is making a mold with using old bowls, old cups you have. And then this one is coil building. Go give them a try and let me know which one is your favorite.